Israel strikes back today, hitting targets on the Gaza Strip, where Lester was just standing, with an estimated 100 to 150 people taken hostage, including Americans. The nation is watching for the next steps to unfold. And today I spoke with Eric Agassi in Israel. He was born here in Youngstown. His mom, Janet Agassi, grew up here. He describes how he is helping families of the missing and the killed loved ones get their stories out to the foreign press, the U.S. media, and the White House. What are most of the stories that you're sharing and bringing the attention to, in terms of the news and also to the White House?
Yes, so it's a very hard thing to do, but I'm not a social worker, but I have to be in touch with families who, for example, a daughter of one of these moms was at a party outside in the nature, an authorized party. And Hamas terrorists stormed this party. It was about 3,000 people, rounded them up and started mass shooting at gunpoint from very close range. Just party goers, talking about 21-year-olds, 20-year-olds, and about 200 people, 260 people were confirmed dead at that incident, at that party, meaning gunmen came there, and some were unaccounted for. So we saw videos of this missing girl who was abducted by the terrorists that for some reason did not kill her, but speak in Arabic and grab her. And there's videos of her being taken into Gaza. Now, she has no idea where she is. She has no idea if her girl is alive. There were reports of women being raped deliberately by militants. She got calls from within Gaza from stolen Israeli phone numbers, hearing Arabic in the background saying, "Your beautiful daughters." And this is something that the world needs to know, and we're trying to get the word out.
NBC News is reporting the fighting is going to intensify today. I know that Israel had some strikes targeted at the Gaza Strip. Eric, we're learning of more than 1,200 people dead, anywhere between 100, 150 hostages, including some Americans. What are you noticing on the ground level in terms of where you are? Are hospitals overwhelmed? Are communities, under increased security? What is it like to be there?
For Israel, and especially myself as a father, we're used to, being in situations of crisis, but never like this. Israel's President Herzog gave an interesting analogy that the amount of dead and wounded here is about 7 times as much as 9/11 would be in terms of proportionality of the amount of people per Israel's size. So hospitals are extremely overwhelmed, and mostly the horrific footage that we're seeing that is compared just to the Holocaust of babies being burned alive in their rooms with their families hugged them together when these terrorist storms, women and full families wiped out completely at gunpoint or rounded up in their communities. I mean, imagine you're speaking to me from Youngstown. Imagine Youngstown gets conquered by ISIS, or a small version of Youngstown, right? And there's nobody to save you, and there's terrorists on the street who come door by door knocking, taking the families out, shooting them on the ground at gunpoint. Some managed, some were kidnapped, but this is what we're dealing with. So the horror is just as probably the worst thing we've ever seen for the Jewish people since the Holocaust.
I mentioned earlier your Valley ties. They extend to your grandfather, Abe Harshman. He was a former Youngstown City Finance Director, school board president. YSU has a scholarship in his name. And he was also named in a leadership award. One of those is named after him through the Youngstown Area Jewish Federation. So tonight we have the Youngstown community watching, and many of them are, belonging to the JCC and the Federation. Wondering, what's your message for them? A lot of them are in shock, grief, fear. What would you say to them right now?
Well, first, I want them to know that I was born in Youngstown, Ohio, in St. Elizabeth Hospital. I was my mom's first child, moved here and lived here ever since. But my message is that we feel that the American people are with us. And we heard President Biden's amazing speech. I had goosebumps. I was almost in tears. And my message is to be strong for us, to support Israel at its time of need. We have shared values. We feel like brothers and sisters. And when I come to Youngstown, when I speak to people, I feel like they're part of me. So, you know, there's a lot of politics in these things, and especially in the U.S. these days. Has nothing to do with politics. This is clear solidarity, and my message is to call the people of Youngstown, of Ohio, of America, to stand with us, to support Israel in its difficult time of need, and make sure that, you know, the only Jewish state is here to stay.
Really appreciate you joining us from Israel here in Youngstown tonight, and please stay safe.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for everybody who's watching, and let's hope for good news.